Interjections are those short, sudden expressions. How? For example, ouch, wow, alas, hooray. All these are your short and sudden emotions or expressions. We will call it as interjections. Clear? And easily you can identify interjection. Mostly and usually all the interjections are followed by your exclamatory mark. Alright? It's not a rule that all the interjections should follow exclamatory marks. Today we'll be looking at parts of speech. Yes, it's me, Ganeeth, your English faculty here. I'll be introducing parts of speech today to you in this class. Alright? So, what do you mean by parts of speech? How to understand them? What are the roles of parts of speech? How can I expect questions in future? Right? So, I'll be discussing this in this class, and I want you to have a chill pill, take a chill pill, and then just understand and follow my words. Okay? Whatever you have learned before, unlearn it, it's time to relearn. Alright? So what are parts of speech? Just like your parts of speech, we have tenses, we have voices, we have clauses, we have gerunds, a lot of things, right? In vocabulary, we have idioms and phrases and everything. But voices, parts of speech, tenses, clauses are really important for you. Just like your active voice, passive voice, just like any other thing. These are all really important for you in order to master the basic level of your grammar. Alright? So, I'll be introducing you parts of speech to you again. So, let's start the class. Table of contents. I believe in having a clarity what we are doing, right? Being an aspirant or being a future officer right now, alright, you should always have a clarity about what you're doing in your life, right? Not only clarity, we need dedication, desperation, and discipline in order to be an officer, right? And also we have 15 officer-like qualities. I don't want you to have all those 15 officer-like qualities, but at least have a clarity what you're doing in your life, alright? So, today we'll be learning parts of speech, right? I'll give you a clarity about what are parts of speech. Let me try to explain it in a simpler form that you will all understand. Alright? So, first, what are we going to do in this class? I'll give you a proper brief explanation or understanding about what are parts of speech. Introducing parts of speech to you. Second, types. There are 8 types of parts of speech, starting from noun and ending with what? Interjection or conjunction or preposition, whatever you might call it for. I'm not adding or I'm not including articles here. Some might debate with me. So, why are you not adding articles here? Because I'll dedicate a separate class for you guys to teach articles in upcoming classes, alright? Delving. What do you mean by delving? Okay? This is a new word for most of you guys, okay? Make sure that you are noting down this word in your word list. I told you in the previous class, right? The 5-5-5 rule to enhance your vocabulary, right? So, you have to learn 5 new synonyms and antonyms, 5 new phrasal verbs, 5 new idioms and phrases every day. So, with that being said, add this word delving into your word list. And what does it mean? Just explore it for yourself and then put it in the comment if you want it. Alright? So, also I'll just give you a recap about what I have been taught in this class and everything, so you don't have to revise as soon as required. Alright? You can revise it later. But make sure that you're following my words. We'll start today's class. Clear? Introduction. What do you mean by parts of speech? Right? Every language has its basic elements that are called words. You may take what? Marathi, Spanish, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi. You take any language. What is common in every language? The basic thing. Words. Words are common in every language, right? Every language will have words, right? So, in order to beautifully converse, in order to construct a sentence, what do we need? In order to converse, in order to communicate, in order to read, in order to write, in order to listen, what do we need? Words. Words are the basic elements of your language. Alright? For example, in case if I'm building a castle, I know my castle is pathetic and cheap, so don't judge my castle over here. Clear? So, what do I need to build up or erect this castle? I need few stones and bricks, right? In order to build a castle, I need basic elements called bricks, right? Same way, language need words for them to sustain, right? As building is made by bricks, language is made by words, okay? Words are really important in any language, alright? And group of words make a sentence. You have to have this clarity. Clear? Basic elements of language are called words and group of words are called as your sentence. If you have this clarity, then it is easy for you to understand what are parts of speech. Alright? With that being said, let us move. Let's start class. Before that, I would like to give you a clarity. Take this sentence, the cat is playing guitar. Okay, take a sentence like the cat is playing guitar. Why this the is used in the first and secondly cat, third your is, fourth you're playing, and fifth your guitar. Why not guitar, cat, the is playing? Why we have to follow an order, right? Why don't I put the cat here and then replace the here, right? Every word holds a position, or every word has a function to play in a sentence, alright? For example, this is my first word. This first word will have a role to play or a function to have, alright? I call this first word as article. Cat, I will call cat as noun. Is, I will call it as a verb, okay? Auxiliary verb or whatever it is. Playing will be my main verb. I'll just put it as verb for you. Guitar is another noun. So each and every word has to be followed in an order, alright? And also each and every word will have its own name or position or own function to play in a sentence, alright? So if we have a sentence, what is sentence? Sentences, sentences are that which are made by or made up of group of words, right? So we'll be discussing the function and role and the position of each and every word in a sentence. The study or the understanding capacity of this is called as your parts of speech. Clear? For example, let me take an imaginary name. Okay, for example, Vikram. Okay, wow, Vikram is an exceptionally smart student and his smile is radiant. Let me fill it up first. Clear? See, this is a sentence. Wow, Vikram is an exceptionally smart student and his smile is radiant. What do you mean by this? This is a well-constructed sentence, right? Whereas if you are decoding every word part by part, one by one, right? For example, wow, which I have marked here. Vikram, my second word, is my third word, and is my fourth word. Like this, we are parting. We are separating or decoding every single word here. Alright, just pay attention here. Wow is called as an interjection. Alright, you don't have to know what is an interjection right now. I'll be teaching you later. Just try to follow me, okay? Vikram means proper noun. Is a verb. An is an adverb. Exceptionally is an adverb. Smart is an adjective. Clear? Like that. We have decoded every word here, and then every word will have a name or role to perform. Clear? For example, smile. Smile is a noun. His, alright, his is a pronoun. The study or the classification of such words in a sentence and then trying to understand their role or their function, we call it as studying parts of speech. Clear? Wow, Vikram is an exceptionally smart student. What is this? Smart is an adjective. While I'm teaching you adjectives in the adjective class, when I'm teaching you adjectives, that time you will know why smart is an adjective, whereas why student is a noun. Okay? But the studying or having an understanding about what are words and what are the roles behind these words are called as your parts of speech. Clear? Now let us discuss the types of parts of speech. We have seen a sentence and then we have decoded, right? We have seen interjection, preposition, conjunction, noun, proper noun, verb a lot. But primarily, these 8 are called as your types of parts of speech. When we are talking about the types of parts of speech, these 8 are your primary types of parts of speech. Where have you seen such words? Of course, in your dictionary, alright? You open a dictionary which is lying in your home or which you are using currently, alright? You will always find such words in curved bracket in your dictionary. What does it mean? Nothing. Nouns are indicated as N, pronouns are indicated as this, and all these are indicated in their shorter version or a contraction we call it here, alright? So, as I told you earlier, these are your 8 types of parts of speech. Let me tell you how to identify them or what are they. I'll just give you a simple basic explanation. Nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are those words which are used to name. For example, nouns can name people, places, things, and then ideas. Ideas? How, sir? For example, non-cooperation movement or else for your ahimsa. Ahimsa is a movement or ahimsa is an idea or a thought or an ideology which was followed by a lot of people in modern India, right? So, ahimsa, we have a lot of ideologies, whereas we have named one particular ideology as ahimsa. So, when we are naming something, automatically it will be my noun. Clear? Basic understanding. So, nouns are your naming words. What do you mean by pronouns, sir, then? Pronouns. We already know what are nouns, right? Pronouns are those words which are going to replace your nouns. Understanding? Pronouns are those words which are going to replace your noun. How, sir? For example, Vikram is tall. Vikram lives nearby. Vikram smokes. Alright? Look at this. It's awkward, right? Vikram is tall. Vikram lives nearby. Vikram smokes. First of all, we know if you're naming something, then it is a noun. So Vikram is a noun because it is a name of a person. That is why I'm calling Vikram as my noun. How pronoun I told you, right? You might ask me, so you told pronouns are going to replace nouns. Let me show you how it is going to replace nouns for you students. Alright? See, pronouns. Instead of Vikram, okay, here in the second phrase, I'll be using he. Alright? Now let us look at the new sentence. Vikram is tall. He lives nearby and he smokes too. What is happening here? I have used this noun only once. I have replaced this noun with a pronoun. He, she, it, me, we, us, all are your pronouns. While I'm teaching you pronouns in a separate class, you will understand. Now try to have a basic clarity about what are parts of speech. That's it. Alright. So Vikram is a noun, and then instead of using Vikram here again, Vikram is tall, Vikram lives, I'm using he. He is a pronoun which is replacing the original noun. Alright. He lives nearby and he smokes too. Again, this is a pronoun which is replacing the noun Vikram. Clear? So we know what are nouns. We have seen what are pronouns. Let me talk about verbs. What do you mean by verb? Verbs are your action words, or verbs can be a state of being. For example, play, sing, dance, eat, stand, walk, kill, stalk. All are your verbs. Okay? Sir, these are all action verbs. Clear? These are all your action verbs. I told you verbs are also state of being. For example, know. K-N-O-W. Know. Know is also a verb. But why? Though it is not an action, it is a state of being. For example, he is knowing things. He is knowing unwanted things or unnecessary things. He is understanding unnecessary things, or he is knowing unnecessary things. Those verbs which do not have an action, we call it as, those verbs which do not have an action, we call it as state of being. Clear? And in verbs only, we have stative verbs, we have copular verbs, or it is also called as linking verbs, we have action verbs, we have transitive, we have intransitive, a lot. Alright? So, we are not going to delve deep on all these types of verbs. I'm just going to give a clarity about parts of speech, okay, and the types about them. So, we know what are nouns. Nouns are naming verbs. Naming words. Pronouns are the replacement of nouns. Verbs are called as, I can write it here as action or state of being. State of being. What are adverbs? Adverbs are those verbs. Adverbs are those words which will modify your noun, not your noun, your verb, your adjectives, adverbs, and the entire sentence. Before having a look at adverbs, let me tell you what are adjectives. It will be easy. Before having a look at adverbs, let me tell you what are adjectives. Okay? We know what are nouns, we know what are pronouns, right? Any word which is modifying, listen again, I'll repeat. Any words which is modifying noun or pronoun, not only modifying, any word which is adding detail to it, or adding quality to it, or adding a kind of it to it, so we call it as adjectives. Any word which is modifying or adding a detail or adding a specification to noun and pronoun, we call it as adjectives. For example, I'll take a noun boy. I'll take a pronoun he, you. I'll just take a pronoun you. Alright? Boy. Boy is a noun. You is a pronoun. Clear? So, I'm adding one word here. Smart boy. This smart is a word which is adding a detail or a quality or a kind to that noun, right? Boy is a noun. Whereas smart is that word which is adding a detail or adding a description or a specification or modifying this noun. So, those words which modify noun or pronoun, we call it as adjectives. Okay? Adjectives will modify nouns and pronouns. That's it. Clear? So, for an example, I'm telling nasty you. Okay? Here, nasty is an adjective. Why? It is modifying the pronoun you. Instead of nasty, if I'm using clever, clever you, then it is also an adjective. Why? This clever or nasty are those words which are modifying the pronoun you. All right. I'll repeat again. Those words which are modifying nouns or pronouns are called as your adjectives. Clear? Now let us discuss adverbs now. I told clearly that adjectives will modify nouns and your pronouns, right? Adverbs are exactly the same, but whereas they modify verbs, all right? I told you what are verbs. They modify adjectives. These adjectives, I told an example, right? Smart. This boy is a noun. Smart is an adjective. He's a very smart boy. Or he is very smart boy, whatever it is. He is a very smart boy or very smart. Let us leave rest. Smart is an adjective. Very is a word which is modifying this adjective. So adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, and adverbs themselves and the entire sentence. Clear? For these all verbs, adjectives, adverbs and everything, if you want me to give an explanation, of course I will be delivering it to you, but on the respective classes of each and every topic over here. Alright, so we know what are nouns, naming words, pronouns are the replacement of nouns, verbs are actions or state of being, adverbs will modify, come on, say it with me, verbs, adjectives, adverbs themselves and entire sentence. Clear? And we know what are adjectives. Adjectives will modify only nouns and then pronouns. Prepositions. What are prepositions? Prepositions are those words which will show you the relationship between two entities. For example, under, beneath, beside, all are your prepositions. Clear? What do you mean by conjunction? The one and only rule of conjunction, a one and only function of conjunction is that to connect or combine or to join two sentences or entities. Clear? Conjunctions will connect, preposition will show the relationship between two entities, and adjectives will modify nouns and pronouns. Adverbs will be modifying your verbs, adjectives, adverbs and the entire sentence. Verbs are actions or state of being. Pronouns are the replacement of nouns and nouns are the naming verbs. And what do you mean by interjection? Interjections are those short, sudden expressions. Alright? Interjections are those short, sudden expressions. How? For example, ouch, wow, alas, hooray. All these are your short and sudden emotions or expressions. We will call it as interjections. Clear? And easily you can identify interjection. Mostly and usually all the interjections are followed by your exclamatory mark. Alright? It's not a rule that all the interjections should follow exclamatory marks. Alright? So these are called as your parts of speech. So if I am constructing a sentence, I should be able to know what is the role or function of each and every sentence. For example, I love this class. Clear? Now let us try to decode this. My name is Ganeeth, but I'm not using my noun. Instead, I'm using a replacement called pronoun, which is I. Pronoun. Clear? Love. I love this class. Okay. Verb. This. Adjective, not your pronoun. We'll discuss why. This class. Class is a noun, whereas this is modifying or adding a detail to this class. This class means this. That class, the class which is going to happen later, whatever it is. This class, that class. So this is going to modify your noun. Alright. Instead of this class, my class. Though my is already a pronoun, it is acting like an adjective. Why? My class, your class. Okay, it is giving a specific detail to this noun. So it is an adjective as well. We call it as determiners. So there is a lot of things to do. I'll calmly and in a collected way, I'll just teach you nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions and interjections in an explained session in our upcoming classes. Okay. Today it's just an introduction to your parts of speech. Now we clearly know what are parts of speech, right? What are parts of speech? Parts of speech are the building blocks or basic elements of your sentence. Clear? And it is going to give you the role or function of each and every word. That's it. And parts of speech primarily have 8 types. What are they? Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, interjections, conjunctions and prepositions. Alright. So I'll take a separate class. I'll dedicate a separate class for you guys to understand what are these in depth. This is just an introduction for you guys. Alright. Thank you.
पूरा वीडियो देखने के लिए डाउनलोड करें श्योर योर विवेक ऐप गूगल प्ले स्टोर से।